I'm taking unprecedented but critically important action.
Now at 5, 10 days out from the demolition deadline for 4 houses, just how long the conflict on Major Street dates back and why the mayor says she has no choice but to knock the homes down. Plus,
to see those speeds in these conditions is completely uncalled for.
Wintry chaos sparks crashes on the roads. Troopers advising Utahns to keep up with weather advisories and slow down. What to expect on your upcoming commutes in Utah's most accurate forecast. And
the cost really comes in lives.
Counties keeping a pulse on cardiac arrest rates introduce a new tool. How an app empowers citizens to respond to emergencies and save lives.
Live, we're there for you. ABC4 News at 5 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here today. This evening, we are learning more about the man who died on the slopes at Solitude Mountain Resort.
An hours-long search launching when 37-year-old Devin O'Connell never made it down the mountain yesterday. Solitude closing down until rescuers found O'Connell's body in a cluster of trees just off the Sensation ski run this morning. Now, police telling us the Cottonwood Heights man was last seen around noon on Monday riding up a lift. His family reporting him missing around 6 p.m., a few hours after he was expected to meet them.
He's a very advanced skier, and he was wearing all the protective gear. He had on a helmet, all those things, and this is just what appears right now to be just a really tragic, unfortunate situation.
Search crews had to call off the search around 1:30 this morning due to harsh weather conditions. They picked it back up around 7, and they found O'Connell an hour later. The medical examiner's office is currently looking into the exact cause of death. We will keep you updated here on air and online, abc4.com.
And in Davis County, a successful rescue bringing a man safely down a bountiful mountain yesterday. Volunteers responding to a hiker stranded up a snowy trail. The 62-year-old suffering a medical episode, we're told. His companion was able to call for help. Now, we know the man was treated on scene and then was able to go home after. This all thanks to the response from search and rescue crews who know the area inside and out in all weather conditions.
Tonight, we have team coverage on all the recent snow creating dangerous conditions for drivers. Troopers responding to dozens of crashes since midnight with snow and some parts of the state ice covering the roads.
Yes, ABC4's Kate Garner standing by in Salt Lake with what commuters can expect as they head home or into work. But first, of course, let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy, who's also braving the cold at this point with a first look at the forecast. Alana.
Evening and morning commutes will be impacted. This storm continues to perform, and we are looking at additional accumulation with cold temperatures. We've talked about that winter weather advisory. It has been extended, folks. This now will remain in effect for the northern Wasatch Front and into Salt Lake County until noon tomorrow. That means the snow that we're seeing, these light snow showers, will continue to pile up. 1 to 4 inches in accumulation depending on where you are, but it's not a surprise when we know these colder temperatures really taking over the high country. Seeing huge storm totals from this. Live look at Alta, where the snow's been coming down, and their storm total, boy, it's big. 36 inches coming out of Alta since Sunday. Looking at the storm tracker radar, we're showing you exactly where those snow showers are happening. That includes Salt Lake County, along the benches into Davis County, up towards Brigham City, and as far south as Payson. Tooele County seeing some light snow at times as well. Here's a look at those storm totals thus far for the high country resorts, getting 2 feet plus. That includes places like Nordic Valley, Brighton just shy of 2 feet, 28 inches at Snowbird, and again Alta getting really big numbers. We are not finished. This is a slow moving upper level low that's tracking into the central United States, but this wraparound moisture continues to impact Utah. Here's a look at those temperatures where, yes, we're freezing in Logan, Ogden, Salt Lake, and Provo. So any bit of snow coming down will quickly accumulate on the surface. 44 degrees in St. George, where this morning portions of Washington County woke up to accumulating snow. So have to reiterate again, the evening commute will be slick. Tomorrow morning will be slick for the Wasatch Front with that new winter weather advisory holding steady until noon. We get another system on the way this week. We're tracking it and how it will impact you coming up in my full forecast. Glenn, Emily, over to you.
All right, expecting more slick roads, as Lana said, after a day of chaos on the roads today as that snow kept falling across the state. There were some dangerous conditions for drivers out there. ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Kate Garner joining us live from Salt Lake City with a look at the roads at this hour. Kate?
Emily, it is cold, and you can see here on California Avenue, the pavement is wet. Slush is starting to accumulate along the edge of the road. Simply put, it's slick out there. Utah Highway Patrol says these conditions have led from one wreck to another. Now, this is a look at some of those conditions from earlier today. I drove down from Ogden this afternoon to Salt Lake, and Legacy Highway was clear, but still really slushy, more slushy than I would like as a driver. Utah Highway Patrol says drivers are going way too fast for these conditions, saying many are going well over 70 miles per hour on the highways, with one overnight being pulled over for going 102 miles an hour. And last night, in less than 12 hours, Utah Highway Patrol responded to nearly 100 crashes.
With all of these crashes that are happening, it's always important for drivers to know that the first responders and crash responders are there to make sure that we go home safely as possible. Let's watch out for them, give them the space that they need to roam.
Now, Sergeant Roden says just last week, 3 troopers were actually hit while assisting people that had crashed their cars during this kind of weather. Again, we need to just give them room, slow down, and increase the following distance between us and the car in front of us. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, I'm Kate Garner.
All right, thank you, Kate. Tomorrow, Colorado River water users meeting in Las Vegas to figure out how western states can survive with less. This comes 2 decades into the mega drought. This year's meeting marks 100 years since the states on the Colorado River basin divvied up water shares. And as the 2 largest reservoirs in the Colorado River sit around 1/4 full. This week, officials will make plans to use 15% less water next year or risk facing mandatory cutbacks. The Bureau of Reclamation is collecting ideas about possible actions through December 20th.
And in Salt Lake City, Mayor Aaron Mendenhall calling for the demolition of 4 vacant houses on Major Street. The mayor calling these properties unsafe after 2 of the buildings caught fire more than once over the last month. Mayor Mendenhall saying this emergency action comes after years of back and forth with the property owners. The houses, she says, are still not up to code despite the city's efforts, including 1 year of daily fines totaling $50,000.
As a city, we respect the rights of property owners. And so the bar for us taking this unprecedented action is set very high.
The owners will have 10 days to hire someone to knock the homes down. If they don't, the city will take on the demolition, charging the homeowners for all costs related to the process. We will have more on this story coming up tonight at 10.
We're getting a better look tonight at what will become of the area that used to house thousands of inmates. 100
of these 600 acres freed up when the old Utah State Prison is fully demolished will become a site for shopping, housing, and recreation. Potential plans for phase 1 of development, along with 3D visuals, giving a rough idea of what the Point in Draper could look like in just a few years. Plans including 3,000 multifamily housing units, 16 acres of parks, 200,000 square feet for retail and restaurants, and 2 million square feet for office space. Now it's up to the Land Authority to consider moving forward with these plans ahead of a construction start date of 2024 at the earliest. Protections for same-sex and interracial marriage are now the law of the land. This after President Joe Biden signs the Respect for Marriage Act into law, and there were thousands in attendance. Utah's Senator Mitt Romney and 3 of Utah's 4 representatives voting in favor of the final bill. Senator Mike Lee citing insufficient protections for religious institutions and voting no. And Representative Burgess Owens expressed the same concerns when he voted present. Today, marking a major win for those concerned that the Supreme Court could try to overturn same-sex marriage.
Marriage is a simple proposition. Who do you love? And will you be loyal to that person you love? It's not more complicated than that. The law does not include the 2015 ruling requiring all states issue same-sex marriage licenses, but it does require that states consider couples married as long as their ceremonies were lawfully performed. Weber and Morgan counties are introducing a new app that can turn any member of the public into a hero, teaching citizens CPR right on the spot. Yeah, great idea. This is an effort to improve response efforts, especially in light of startling numbers of heart issues all across the country. Nearly 1,000 Americans dying from cardiac arrest each day. ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Kate Gardner with that story.
The sound of a PulsePoint alarm rings out.
We're excited. This app will save lives. There's no doubt about it.
For over a year, Ogden City and agencies in Weber and Morgan counties have been looking for a way to better address cardiac arrest.
The need was to increase our survivability. I know I can speak for Ogden City because I have their numbers. We ran 246 cardiac arrests in 2021, just in Ogden City.
Deputy Fire Chief Mike Slater says only about a quarter of people who suffer sudden cardiac arrest in the area survive.
And our goal is 100% survivability on a sudden cardiac arrest.
Ogden City, Weber, and Morgan counties and local hospitals are adopting the PulsePoint app to reach that goal, and they want residents to do the same.
Whether you're at home or running errands around town, if you have the PulsePoint app on your phone, you'll be alerted of people who may need help within a quarter mile of your location.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Once a 911 phone call is placed, the app will send the user to a person who's suffering from cardiac arrest and walk them through CPR until paramedics arrive.
For every minute that passes when a person is unconscious without a heartbeat, that their chance of a meaningful survival goes down by about 10%.
Paramedics usually arrive within 4 to 6 minutes.
Having someone there immediately on scene within a minute or two greatly enhances the ability for someone to survive cardiac arrest.
Anyone willing to learn CPR is encouraged to download the free app.
And it's not just survive. We want people to have a meaningful recovery from this event and be able to go home out of the hospital, back to their families, back to their jobs, back to their loved ones.
Reporting in Ogden, Cade Garner, ABC4 News.
Still ahead, beloved BYU alum and legendary Mississippi State football coach Mike Leach dies. Hear from his close friend, Utah football coach Kyle Whittingham, as Leach's death makes waves across the state. That's coming up in sports.
There's that live look from the ABC4 studios. Weather ball white because snow is in sight, freezing temperatures with light snow. We've seen the winter weather advisory extended. What to expect as we head into the morning hours in Utah's most accurate forecast.